And welcome back to Electric Bike Mark. On this video I'm going to be riding the AIPAS M1 Max. And what I want to talk about on this video is e-bike speeds and how a bike is shipped to you most often 20 miles per hour, and you have to unlock it to get to 28 miles per hour, which is class 3. And I'm going to tell you some of the reasons why I think it's a good idea to unlock it, especially if you're someone who's commuting on the road. So here's what I wanted to bring up. So the biggest advantages to unlocking your bike to 28 miles per hour, assuming you're riding on the road as opposed to on trails. Unlocking an e-bike to 28 miles per hour, class 3 speed, primarily transforms it from a leisure vehicle into a viable, high-efficiency car replacement. While a 20 mile per hour cap is often sufficient for short neighborhood trips, the jump to 28 miles per hour offers several strategic advantages for serious riders. Enhanced traffic and safety integration. Moving at 28 miles per hour allows you to keep pace with city traffic more effectively. Reduced speed differential. On roads with 25 to 35 mile per hour speed limits, being able to hit 28 miles per hour makes you a participant in traffic rather than an obstacle. This decreases the frequency of cars attempting to dangerously overtake in tight lanes. Predictability. Moving closer to the speed of surrounding vehicles makes you more visible, and predictable to drivers. Intersection clearance. High speeds and faster acceleration help you clear busy intersections more quickly, reducing your time in high-risk zones. Sufficient commute time savings. The 8 miles per hour increase can cut commute times by up to 30 to 50% depending on the route. Long distance visibility. Over a 10-mile commute, or viability I should say, over a 10-mile commute, a 28 mile per hour e-bike can save you roughly 10 to 15 minutes each way compared to a 20 mile per hour ride. Beating gridlock. In congested urban areas, an unlocked e-bike is often faster than a car, bus, or subway because it can bypass traffic while maintaining a competitive cruising speed. Improved riding experience and range efficiency. Less fatigue. High-speed pedal assist allows you to maintain momentum with less physical overexertion, even on steep hills or against strong headwinds. Arrival condition. Higher speeds mean you can reach your destination faster without arriving sweaty or exhausted, which is critical for office commuters. While riding at 28 miles per hour consumes more battery, many Class 3 bikes come with larger batteries to compensate, making long-range, high-speed travel feasible for daily routines. So let's hop on and talk a little bit more about this and what your thoughts are on unlocking your e-bike so it can go faster than the Class 2 20 miles per hour. Whenever I can, if it's has the ability to do that, I always unlock the bikes. Whether I'm going to use that extra speed or not, I don't know when I'm going to want to use that extra speed, so I like it to be there when the situation arises that I want to use it. And there's many areas where you need that extra oomph. And one of them, to me, one of the big ones is on intersections. But another one is on roads that do not have bike lanes. Rather than hugging the right shoulder of a road and having cars go around you, which I think is a lot more dangerous, you can be right out in the lane. If it's a 25 mile per hour road, which a lot of urban roads are slower like that, you can maintain that speed right with the cars so they don't have to go around you. You can be with them and making it a lot less dangerous. Like I say, particularly on roads that don't have bike lanes. Rather than trying to hug this curb, you know, to ride closest to the curb as you can, that's not as safe, in my opinion. And that's why also I would like to see the speed, instead of 28, just make it around 30 miles an hour, because you don't see any roads that are 28, but you do see a lot of roads that are 30. And I think that little extra couple of miles per hour to bring it right up, this is 35 on this road, but there are a lot of roads that are just 30. And particularly, like I say, when there's no bike lane, at 30 miles an hour, maybe you can just blend right in with the cars. I know there's plenty of riders out there that are not comfortable doing that, and that's fine. But there are a lot of riders that are comfortable, that are experienced, and you know, have been riding for several years and are perfectly comfortable riding on the road. So I think it would make it good. Now this road I'm going on to right now is also 35 miles per hour. It's kind of weird here because it's got, I'm going to crank up my speed a bit. This one's got the bike lane here and then the shoulder beside it, which I actually don't mind this, although it does make you feel like you're a little more vulnerable out here. But the thing I like about this lane here is that there's not as much debris in this lane. It's more like the car lanes, because all the debris always goes off to the right shoulder, right to the curb. And if you've been riding an e-bike for long, or any kind of bike on the road, you know what it's like to have debris in your lane. It's terrible. It's dangerous. It causes flat tires. It's just not a good situation. So I kind of like this in a way, being away from the curb, having the lane here. Go ahead. But see, this road right here, is, you can see the sign there, 25 miles an hour. And this is absolutely a perfect example of just going 25 as opposed to 20, unlocking your bike to go that extra 5 miles an hour. With no bike lane there, you can just ride right in the center, because you're going to be going the same speed as a car, or at least you're capable of doing that. And I think it's a lot less dangerous, like I say, than having cars going around you. This road here is, it's the same, 25 miles per hour. Lots of roads are 25, but there are also lots that are just a little bit more at 30. So that's why I think a nice even 30 miles per hour, I think, would be perfect. And if you're not comfortable riding that fast, then you don't have to. It's up to you. And we're coming over here now to a trail, a little trail, and this trail is where you're definitely not needing anything above 20. You don't even need anywhere near 20 miles an hour. You can't get going that fast. It's impossible. I mean, you could do it, but that's very dangerous. You don't know who's coming around the corners here. It's not a very wide trail. It's kind of bumpy. You wouldn't have the best control in here going any top speed. Look at the sharp turn right here. There's no way you could do that. Nor do I even try. to do that, because I don't know who's in here. Like I say, I just like using it as a shortcut. It's kind of cool in here. It's nice and shaded, which is kind of nice in the summer. And I think it's even more important now with the limiting, cracking down, if you want to call it that, of not allowing e-bikes at all on trails, on multi-use paths. So we're kind of kicked to the road anyway. And so that's why I think it's even more important to unlock the bike to go beyond 20 up to 28, because there's times I think you're going to need it. And on a trail, if all you're going to ride is trail rides, and you can legally ride on a trail, which, you know, they're, like I say, cracking down. Pretty soon they're not going to allow any bikes on them. And I'm going to get across here really quick. So, you know, they kick you to the road if you can't ride on the trail. But if you could ride on the trails, or if they had separated bike lanes, you know what? I could live with 20 miles per hour, because it wouldn't be my preference, but I could live with it. And the reason why is because you're not competing with cars there. So you don't really need those kind of speeds, right? You could just, I think you could cruise along on a separated lane for bikes. Say it's right beside the road, but its own lane, kind of like a sidewalk is. You know, you wouldn't need to be going that fast. Because the only reason why I think you need to have the faster speed is to compete with cars, to make it less dangerous for you. I think the most dangerous, like I say, I think I feel the most vulnerable in intersections, and also when I feel vulnerable when cars go by me when I'm in the bike lane. Oh, let's see if I can get by this car. They saw me, so that's another thing you got to be careful of, is cars pulling out of driveways. I've had that. I've also had, not sure if you've ever had this happen, but I've had cars right in front of me do a U-turn. No turn signals, nothing. It's like, whoa. So you don't want to follow anybody, cars or anything, too closely, because oftentimes they don't even signal or anything, and so you have no idea what they're doing. This bike is a large bike, but it's got some get up and go. I'm in pedal assist 3 right now. So that's going to do it for this video today, giving reasons why it's a good idea to unlock your e-bike to go faster than 20 up to 28 miles an hour. I would do it, but it's totally up to you. But most times a bike will come locked and you have to unlock it. It's kind of weird because it's still legal at 28, and yet you have to unlock it to get to that 28. One more look at the AIPAS M1 Max bike. So if you like this video, hit that like button. If you would like to subscribe to the channel, thank you very much. Just hit that subscribe button. If you want to be notified as to when the next video comes up on the channel, just hit that notification bell. And if you want to leave a comment on this or any other videos that you've seen on the channel, go ahead and leave that in the comments below. Once again, thank you for joining me on Electric Bike Mark. And until next time, be safe everyone, and keep your wheels on the road. See you later.